Do you ever feel like no matter what you achieve, it's never quite enough? Like there's this quiet, nagging voice in your head whispering that you're an imposter and one day everyone's going to find out. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This feeling, this deep-seated sense of not being good enough, is incredibly common. Today, we're going to dive into the psychology behind it, explore where it comes from, and most importantly, talk about how we can start to change that narrative. This feeling isn't just about low self-esteem. It's a complex web of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors often referred to as the imposter phenomenon or simply imposter syndrome. It's the experience of feeling like a fraud despite having a track record of success. You might get a promotion, ace an exam, or receive a major award, but instead of feeling proud, you feel a surge of anxiety. You might think, oh, I just got lucky, or they must have made a mistake. You attribute your successes to external factors, but you internalize every single failure as proof of your inadequacy. So, where does this feeling originate? For many of us, the seeds are planted in childhood. Perhaps you grew up in a household where love and approval were conditional, tied directly to your achievements. Getting an honor report card earned you praise, while a B was met with disappointment. This teaches a young mind a powerful and often damaging lesson. My worth is based on what I do, not who I am. Another common root is being labeled the smart one or the talented one in the family. While this sounds like a good thing, it can create immense pressure. You feel like you have to constantly live up to this label. The first time you struggle with something or don't succeed effortlessly, it can feel like a catastrophic failure, shaking the very foundation of your identity. You start to believe that if you're not naturally brilliant at everything, then the smart label was a lie all along. Social comparison is another huge factor, especially in our hyper-connected digital age. We're constantly bombarded with the highlight reels of other people's lives on social media. We see the curated perfection, the promotions, the exotic vacations, the seemingly flawless relationships, and we compare it to the messy reality of our own lives. We see their finished product, but we don't see the struggles, the rejections, and the late nights that went into it. This skewed comparison can leave us feeling like we're falling behind, that everyone else has it figured out except for us. This mindset creates a vicious cycle. Because you're afraid of being exposed as a fraud, you might over-prepare and work much harder than necessary. When you succeed, you don't see it as proof of your ability. Instead, you think, see, I only succeeded because I worked myself to the bone. A truly competent person wouldn't have had to try so hard. This burnout-inducing cycle just reinforces the belief that you're not naturally good enough. On the other hand, some people might procrastinate, subconsciously self-sabotaging so that if they fail, they have a ready-made excuse. I would have done better if I had more time. Either way, the core belief of inadequacy is never challenged. The impact of constantly feeling not good enough is significant. It can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. It can hold you back from taking risks, from applying for that dream job, or from sharing your creative work with the world. You're so afraid of failing that you might end up not even trying. It can also strain relationships, as you might have trouble accepting compliments or believing that someone could genuinely love and accept you, flaws and all. So, how do we break free from this pattern? It's a journey, not an overnight fix, but it starts with awareness. The first step is simply to recognize and name the feeling. When that voice of self-doubt starts whispering, identify it. Say to yourself, this is the imposter feeling talking. This is not the objective truth. By separating the feeling from your identity, you give yourself some breathing room. Next, start gathering your evidence. Keep a success file or a brag folder. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about creating a factual record to counter the irrational feelings of inadequacy. Write down every accomplishment, big or small. Note down positive feedback you've received from colleagues, friends, or mentors. When you're feeling like a fraud, open this file and read it. Let the facts speak for themselves. This helps retrain your brain to acknowledge your abilities. It's also crucial to reframe your thoughts about failure and competence. Real competence isn't about knowing everything. It's about being willing to learn and grow. Everyone, even the experts you admire, started somewhere. They made mistakes, they asked stupid questions, and they felt unsure of themselves. Embrace a growth mindset. See challenges not as tests of your worth, but as opportunities to expand your skills. Failure isn't an indictment of your character. It's an essential part of the learning process. Talk about it. This is a big one. The imposter phenomenon thrives in silence and isolation. When you keep these feelings to yourself, you start to believe you're the only one who feels this way. But when you share your experience with a trusted friend, a mentor, or a therapist, you'll almost always be met with a chorus of "me too." Realizing how common these feelings are is incredibly liberating. It normalizes the experience and shatters the illusion that you're uniquely flawed. Speaking of professionals, if these feelings are severely impacting your quality of life, causing significant anxiety or depression, please consider seeking help from a mental health professional. Therapists, especially those who specialize in cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, can provide you with targeted tools and strategies to challenge and restructure these negative thought patterns. There is immense strength in asking for help. Finally, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend who is struggling. You wouldn't tell a friend they were a worthless fraud for making a mistake. So why do you say it to yourself? Recognize your humanity. You are allowed to be imperfect. You are allowed to have bad days. Your worth is inherent and does not depend on your productivity or your list of achievements. Breaking the not good enough cycle is about shifting your internal validation source. It's about moving from seeking external approval to cultivating an inner sense of self-worth that is stable, compassionate, and unconditional. It's about learning to say, "I am doing my best, and my best is good enough, and you know what? It truly is." Thank you so much for joining me today. If this resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Sharing your story might be just what someone else needs to hear to feel less alone. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content on psychology and self-growth. Take care, and remember to be kind to yourself.